It doesn't matter if it's in the form of meditation or walking. It could be various different ways. And again, I'm a big believer of one size does not fit all. Find what works for you. How to be the true you. How do you become the true you? I recently did one on how to be yourself, but this is about being the true you. Now, the first ingredient to being the real you is to absolutely be brave and have courage. You have to have the courage to believe in yourself. You really have to dig deep and go, actually, this is coming from inside. It's coming from me. I have to have the courage and be brave to really listen to that, because it's very easy to shut it off. It's things that we've been very much trained to do in school, is sit down, shut up, be a certain way, do it the way we say. And what happens is you actually forget to listen to your intuition. You listen to what's bubbling up inside, which is always giving you the answer. So first of all is have courage, be brave to be the real you. Trust in your gut feeling. You will always have a navigation inside of you that will go, actually, this doesn't feel right. So listen to it. Ask the question, why doesn't this feel right? What's wrong? Is it because I'm scared? A lot of the times fear will show up. So, you're scared of taking the leap of doing something. But sometimes it's you don't like the person telling you don't trust them. The situation doesn't seem right. You need to maybe do a little bit more research. Or actually, do you know what? It just doesn't go with the grain of your thought process or the way you are, the way you like to be. So it's really important to listen to that. And sometimes it's very difficult because we're very used to having the inner voice that is telling us the negative stuff. We've also got that voice that guides us through life as well. But it is having the trust of that. And initially, the way to sort of really help yourself get that is just be aware. Awareness is the first stage to change. Listen to it. The next time, listen to it again. Next time, listen. And slowly, what you'll start doing is you'll start honing that skill and really going, okay, I've heard that before. Actually, I didn't feel right then. I've heard that before. Look to get curious and look to learn. And once you know how that is and how that works, look to create that habit. Look to see, okay, did that happen when I was quiet? Did it happen in the evening when I was really relaxed? Did it happen in the morning when I first woke up and I got a gut feeling about something? And really look at when that happens, because that's a perfect time to, when people say do meditation or do some form of what I call piecing your mind. Peace, make quiet your mind, bring peace to your mind. It doesn't matter if it's in the form of meditation or walking. It could be various different ways. And again, I'm a big believer of one size does not fit all. Find what works for you. In that time of piecing your mind, if you've got a challenge that you're working on at work, or you want to find a new way of doing something, and is that in that moment really, calm down your mind and ask the question. And then trust the answer. Even if it's a bit off, trust it, work with it. Really, really look to nurture that skill of being your true self. Sometimes being your true self is actually knowing who that person is, because sometimes we can mask who we are because we've been said you can't do that, you can't do this, you're not good enough at that, and you listen to all this programming that was potentially given to you when you were younger, through schooling, through parents, through media. And it's really looking at what are those things that are coming up, and going back to, again, when you were young, what did you love to do, and now what do you do that you completely lose yourself in? Those are the things that are the true you, and you can use them in different ways to really help you develop anything that you're going through right now. To be your true self, you absolutely have to have self-love. You have to love yourself. You have to appreciate yourself. And for some people, saying I love myself is very difficult. Now again, that comes from maybe childhood programming, school programming, etc., from your early years. But I'd encourage you to start with I like myself. And I do a great exercise in one of the workshops I run is you get a post-it note and you put I love myself, I forgive myself, And sometimes people, and I put it up, I'll tell people to put it up where they brush their teeth, because they've actually got, a minute or so while they're brushing their teeth, and they can look at that and remind themselves of it. Some people find it very difficult to say, I love myself. So then I'll start them off with, I like myself. So it's, I like myself, I love myself, I forgive myself. And again, forgiveness is such an important thing, because we are not perfect. That's not what life's about. Life is about having your learnings and growing, and it's the roller coaster of life. And we're supposed to make mistakes because that's how we grow as people. But what we do is we forget to forgive ourselves. We forget that it's okay for us to make a mistake as long as we learn from it. So one of the other things I do as an affirmation for people is say, I forgive myself. And they're really, really great ways to build your self-love and your self-worth. When you love yourself and you've got a high self-worth, you really start connecting to who the true you is. And you start just finding yourself being more happier, more fulfilled, but more than anything, more in tune with yourself. And your navigation through life is so much easier, and it's just so much more of a beautiful thing. You start trusting in yourself a lot more, rather than always looking for an external way of someone telling you what you should and shouldn't do. So try the exercise. That would be my first thing. Try the exercise. Do a little post-it note, tiny little post-it note. I like myself, I love myself, I forgive myself. Pop it up on your mirror, look at it every day, twice a day if you can, and say those things to you. It's actually, I think it was something I learned from Brian Tracy, and it was an amazing concept, and I used it for a while as well. So I encourage you to start building your self-worth. I encourage you to start believing in the true you and having the courage to actually listen to yourself. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed doing it. I'm a big believer in self-love, self-worth. So many of us have lost self-worth over the years, even in different times of our life, and that it's the one that makes the shift. It's when you have fulfillment, happiness. Again, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I've hoped it's helped you. Please do comment below. I'd love to hear how you're getting on with your post-it notes, or any questions you have for me. Please do subscribe, because I'd love to carry on making a difference in your life. Double tap, like and subscribe. That would be amazing. Thank you so much.